Hello everyone, welcome to the video series of Computer Science with Python for class 11 under the CBSE board. So in this video series, I will be covering the uh, chapters on the book written by Sumita Arora, and you will be getting series of videos related to different chapters and the different parts of the particular chapters, okay? So now let's start with chapter number 1, that is getting started with Python. So here, nothing much. We'll be just discussing about the introduction of Python and few features, its advantages, its disadvantages, okay, and working environment in Python. So introduction part is there in this chapter. So we'll be covering introduction, then pluses means advantages, some minuses means disadvantages, okay. Then this is working, actually it's a mistake over here, working in Python. So how do we work in Python? Then after that, understanding first program or script in Python. So let's begin. So we won't be going thoroughly through this book. I'll just explain you in brief. Okay. So how you must be wondering why this programming language name is Python, right? You might be wondering. So actually, the interesting fact is that the developer of Python, okay, the developer of Python is Guido van Rossum. Okay, so he was very much fan of one circus show, that is Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay, it was a comedy circus show, and he was very interested in that show, and he got so much inspired by that show. Ultimately, he decided to propose the name for his programming language as Python. Okay, and this programming language, sorry, this Python was developed in 1991, February 1991, and it is based under two programming languages. One is ABC language. It is generally a teaching language created as a replacement of BASIC, and another is Modula 3. Okay, so Python is composed of two programming languages. One is ABC language and another is Modula 3. So Python is an easy to learn. So these days Python is trending and the scope of Python is emerging. Why? There is an interesting fact on that also. So if we compare Python with other programming languages such as C, C++, Java, it is far way better than easy to understand, to learn for beginners than the other programming language. Okay. These days, the trend of using machines is emerging, growing day by day. Now, every sector is depending upon the machines, automated machines. Okay, so even our home locking system is uh, getting smarter these days. We use different codes instead of keys, right? So the system, like machine system or the AI system, has been increased these days. So few scientists that are related to AI, that is artificial intelligence, or some machines related scientists, was so much curious, like they want to get knowledge about programming language. Then why? Because they need to study the system. Okay, so according to the system, they have to incorporate various codes in order to make coordination between system and the software, right? So scientists and different technicians, okay, who are working under the machines, AIs, they were so much curious to learn programming language. So while doing research, they found out that Python is way much better, easy to understand for beginners. So slowly they started adapting Python. They started learning Python. They got used to it, right? Then slowly by slowly, all the scientists, though those who felt that they need to learn programming language, they started learning Python. And these days, the scope of Python has increased tremendously. Okay, so there are various sectors where Pythons are used. Okay, in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning, data visualization, data manipulation, okay, data analysis, So image processing system. So there are lots and lots of scope of Python programming language. So this is how Python has become popular in the modern era. It's not like Python just evolved on this 2020 or 2019 or just few years back. It was there in many years ago. See, it was developed in 1991, but it's getting popular these days. Why? Because the use of machines, the use of technology related to machines, artificial intelligence, these days are growing tremendously. Okay. And for them to incorporate with programming language is easy with the help of Python. Okay. So the use of Python is increasing in that concept, in that scenario. That's why the Python has become a popular programming language on the basis of that scenario. Clear? So let's not go into that deep. Okay. So let's start with the topic only. So what are the advantages on disadvantages of Python? So here in this book, pluses means the advantages. Okay. So it is easy to use object oriented languages. Okay. So object oriented means, or let us say it is easy to understand, easy to use means like it is very, very user friendly. Okay. So I'll show you one example. Suppose like in mathematics, we assign suppose x equals to 10. Similarly, here also what we can do is we can simply assign a equals to 10. It's very easy to understand. Okay. Suppose in mathematics, what we'll do, let the value of x be 10. We'll write simply like in this format only. X is equals to 10. Then, sorry, let me write with x only. X is equals to 10. Okay. X is equals to 10. Then let the value of y be 20. Then let me add these values and store in another variable, that is z. X plus y. Okay. Then I will simply print the value of z, in which the sum of two numbers, that is x and y, has been stored. So this is very, very easy to understand. Okay. See, x has a value equals to 10 and y has a value equals to 20. And in next line, we are just performing addition. That is, the value of x and y has been added in this line. And after that, we are simply printing the value of z. So this line of code is very, very easy to understand in comparison to other programming languages. But if you want to see how this 4 line of code happens in other programming language, I will just show you the demo. So first of all, you need to include, I will just go with C programming language. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to include some header files in this format. Okay, this is the header file I'm including for C. Then after that, you have to write the code within main function. Okay, so I'm writing it over here. Then you have to specify which type of data you are using. Okay, so int means integer, that is free from decimal point. Here in Python, what happens? The interpreter or compiler automatically understand that these values free from decimal points. That means the value stored in x is integer type. But in case of other programming languages such as C, here I'm writing for C, you have to define which type of data you are using. Okay, so now another way is int y is equals to 20. Okay, and if you want the result as integer only, then you have to write int is equals to x plus y. Okay, then for printing the value, I'll simply write print f. In C program, we have to add f also. Then what we have to do is we have to use specifier, value specifier also here. For integer, we have to use %d. Okay, this is the placeholder for value. Then after that, we'll be printing the value of jet. Okay, so after this, our code is completed. then we have to wrap up the function. So return 0, then we have to close this function. Okay, see the same code which I have written in Python, for other programming language you have to include all these methods. See, first you have to include this header file stdio.s. It stands for standard input output. Why? For input and output operation you have to include this. Then after that your some code has to be written inside main function. See, int main, and this is a function within that block only. And remember, after termination of every statement, we have to use this semicolon. So these sort of complexities, these sort of vast details, you need to understand in other programming language. See, Python is very easy. You don't have to remember that semicolons, like including header files, or you have to place that code inside main function and all. Simply 4 lines of code, that's it. So this is how Python is easy to use, easy to understand, and very, very user friendly. Okay, so that makes a sense in this point number 1. Okay, so this easy to use. Another is expressive language. Okay, so Python's expressive means it is more capable of expressing the code's purpose than many other languages. The reason being fewer lines of code, simple syntax. See, as I already mentioned in previous example, it's like very expressive language. See, x is equals to 10 means it is, we can easily understand that y expresses the value 10. But here we have to remember, what is this? If a person is non-technical person, then he might get confused. What is this int? Why he has used this int? What is the purpose of this int? What is this int actually? Then after that, why they are giving the semicolons? Okay, and why they are writing this sort of int main and all, what is the purpose of this? They might not understand. But see, in Python, any non-technical person can easily understand that the value of this individual variables has these particular values. It's very easy to understand for non-technical person as well. So that's why in that sense, it is considered as it is a expressive language. It simply expresses what is necessary. Okay. So in this case, you might get confused in other programming language. Okay. So that is the main point of this point number 2. See here also, they have written the case in C++. If you want to swap the values, swap means interchange the values. Okay. At first, the value of A equals to 2 and B is equals to 3. Then another third temporary variable is been defined. So what's happening is in temp variable, TMP is third variable in which the value of A has been stored here. Okay, the value of A has been stored here. So for now, the value of A has been stored in temp. So the value of TMP will be now what? It will be 2. Okay. Now the value of TMP will be 2. Then after that, in next line over here, A equals to B means the value of B is been assigned to A. So now B is equals to what? The value of A. So the value of A is 2. Sorry, value of B is assigned to A. That means value of B is 3. Okay, that is assigned to A. Clear? Now finally, B is equals to TMP means the value of TMP will be assigned to B. So TMP has value equals to 2. So that will be assigned to 2. See, initially the value of A was 2 and B was 3. Now after swapping process, what happened? The value of A has been changed to 3 and B has changed to 2. So these two variables are exchanging their values. That is the meaning of swapping the values. Okay. So in C, the above code, this code represents for C++ programming. So in this, we have to use this many lines of code. Okay. And we have to include that functions and all. They have just excluded in this book. But you, in real programming, you have to include that functions also, that header files also. Excluding that, still there are more lines of code. That is 4 lines of code. But see, in Python, simply A, B, equals to 2, 3. This means the first line is the initialization of values to variable A. So A has been assigned with value 2 and B has been assigned with value 3. And similarly, in next line, A comma B. Now what happened is, in place of A, for A the value of B is assigned, and for B the value of A is assigned. In this way, the values are interchanged. That's very, very simple in case of Python. Okay, so this is how it's known as expressive language. Okay, so interpreted language. So interpreted means in Python, each line of code is executed one after another. That is each line at a time. At a time, only a single line is executed. Okay, so what does it means is, suppose I have here, let me show you. In this case, see, here in this case, there are 4 lines of code. What happens? Suppose if I make a mistake in any of these lines, suppose if I make mistake over here, suppose I write dot, this is syntax error. So what happens? So it's showing the output of above program. Let me make it. Okay, so just try to check this program only. Oh, point means decimal. I will write underscore plus. Okay, not plus. A, suppose this is invalid format. See, I'm getting the error. Now, if this first line is correct, and I will write here, again I will get error. See, before reaching to line number 3, it's showing me error in line number 2 here in this case. So until and unless this error is fixed, your controller won't be moving to the next line, that is z equals to x plus y. So in this way, interpreted means it checks each line of code at a single time. Right? So it won't interpret whole line of code at a single go. It examines or it interprets a single line of code at a single time. One line of code, then another line of code, then another line of code, and so on. Okay, but in compiler based program, what happens is the whole line of code, how many lines of code are there? All line of code will be examined or compiled at a single go. Okay, but in case of Python or interpreted language, what happens is a single line of code is examined at a time. At a single time, only a single line of code is interpreted. And if it finds error in that particular line, the controller will be halted or freezed until and unless your error has been fixed. Okay, that's the meaning of interpreted language. Clear? So now it's completeness. You are very much clear with completeness. If we compare with other programming language, what happened is it is very much clear. Okay? So in other programming language, you have to include your code inside main function. You have to include header files and all. Then you should be aware about that semicolons while at the end of each statement. See, but in case of Python, it's pretty clear. You don't have to include any sort of semicolons, and your code must not be necessarily kept inside any block or any functions. Okay. So after that, it's a cross-platform language. Cross-platform language means it can be downloaded or run in any operating system. See, for now I'm using Mac OS, that is Mac operating system. It works in Mac operating system also, and same case or same application works in Windows operating system or Linux operating system as well. So how many types of operating system are there? In all operating system, your Python works as it is. Okay, that's the meaning of cross-platform. It can work in any platforms. Clear? So free and open source, that is the main advantage of Python. So you will get it for free. You don't have to pay a single penny in order to download a Python. You will get it for completely for free of cost. You simply visit python.org, its official website. Then there you can simply download Python for your system. Clear? So here is also a website, www.python.org. Clear. So you will get the latest version whenever you visit this site, then you can download that version only. Okay. And variety of uses or applications, as I already mentioned earlier. So with the help of Python, you can develop various applications for scripting, rapid prototyping, web applications, UI programs, okay, game developments, database applications, system administration, and so on. There are various uses of applications with the help of Python programming, okay. So after that, there are some advantages as well in Python programming language. So some minuses means some disadvantages of Python programming language. Clear? So not the fastest language. Since it is an interpreted language, what happens is it checks each line of code line by line at a time. So in that case, what happens is if it encounters a problem over here, suppose in this line, let me show you in Thony only. Suppose if it encounters a error, see here in this line number 46 in my case, there's error. So until and unless this error is not fixed, this line number 47 and 48 will never get a chance to be executed. Okay, this line number 47 and 48 will never get chance for execution. So we have to fix this first, then only it will get a chance. See, otherwise what happens if there is error at the first line only, then this rest of this 3 line of code will never get a chance until and unless the error is been fixed. Okay, suppose there is one more error in line number 2. See, I'm showing you more example. Suppose here is error, I will write 1. Okay, this is not a proper syntax. So the error is at line number 45 and line number 47. But if I happen to run, what happens is it will show me, or it will indicate me the error of 45 only at first. Why? Because your controller won't be able to transfer or won't be able to move to line number 47 unless the error of 45 has been fixed. See, now I got error in line number 45. Okay, line number 47 and 45. Clear? So this is how it generates error, and line by line it shows an error if there is an error. Clear? So now another point is lesser libraries. So you will get sufficient libraries to work with for the beginner levels, but if you happen to work for image processing system, data analysis system, then in that case you have to download various libraries at your own. Okay, suppose if you are working for data manipulation and analysis, then in that case you have to download Python pandas or Python pandas. Some says as pandas or some says as pandas. So you have to download that libraries. Okay, and if you are going for PyPlot for plotting or analysis process, data analysis process, you have to download PyPlot libraries. Okay, so these are the possible libraries you can download as per your requirement. But in case of C, C++, Java, okay, you don't have to download that necessary libraries, because you will get the huge amount of libraries at the first download only. That is why it's a disadvantage for case of Python. Okay, and not stop on type binding means while binding process, the type binding is not that strong in comparison to other programming language in case of Python. Okay, and it is not easily convertible as well. Okay, so the program is like the Python is not easily convertible while we are trying to combine many programming language scripts in a single system. Clear? So this is a simple flow how a compilation process and interpretation means interpreted works. Okay, so in comparison, what happens? Source means your written code, a programming code. Then what happens? That code will be compiled. Whole code will be compiled at a time. Then after that, the targeted means your output. If input is given, then targeted processing process will be done, execution process will be done, and your output will be generated. But in case of interpretation, what happens? Source code is generated, then it will be interpreted line by line. First line of code is interpreted, then only what happens on the basis of that, it will execute every line, and finally your object code will be generated and you will get the output. Okay, so this is how interpreter works, and this is how compiler works. That we won't be going in detail right now. We have a different chapter for that. We'll be discussing on that chapter only. And now working in Python, how do we work in Python? So as I already mentioned you earlier, you can download Python by visiting to our website www.python.org. So from there you can download Python, and for beginner level you can download Thonny IDE, THONNY, Thonny, from Thonny side only. See, you will get this kind of icons and you will get this interface to work with. Okay, it's very easy, very simple for beginners to learn. So I suggest you to download this Thonny in order to practice for beginner level. Okay, then after that, nothing much. If you want to grab some more knowledge, there are few IDEs, that is integrated development environments like PyCharm and all. In this you will get additional features to work with. Okay, additional libraries, additional features to work with. So for beginner levels, I suggest you to go with small, lesser feature platforms, that is IDEs like Thonny, or simply interactive sales like Jupyter Notebook, okay, and Python sales and all. If you start working on PyCharm at the beginner level, then you might miss some concepts. Why? Because in PyCharm IDEs, some part of code will be automatically generated by PyCharm all itself. Okay, so in that case, you won't be learning the process. You won't be learning the complete process. Okay, so I suggest for beginners, you start with Thonny or Jupyter Notebook or Python shell mode only, interactive mode only. Okay, so now this was the process to download the Python, different resources for Python to work with. Now, what are the modes, different modes that can be achieved for working in Python? Okay, so basically there are two types of modes. One is script mode and the other is shell mode. So in Thonny, there are both modes are accommodated at a single user interface only. See, this below one shell mode is known as interactive mode. Okay, and the upper part is known as script mode. Okay, so here let's find the difference. So what is the difference between shell mode and let us say interactive mode? They have their own advantage and disadvantage. Okay, so the upper one is, as I already said, it is a script mode, and our lower part, this part is known as shell mode, is known as interactive mode. So in interactive mode, we can simply write 10 plus 20. See, we'll get the answer instantly, that is 30. We don't need to write x equals to 10 or y equals to 20 and so on. We don't have to write in this way. See, simply we'll get the answer. But if we try this interactive process, in this case, we won't get the answer. We have to write print in order to get the answer. Okay, see, print 10 plus 20. We have to include print function in order to get 30 from script mode. You have to write something. Okay, but in shell mode or interactive mode, it's not necessary. So that's why it's considered as a quicker, faster process. Okay, and instant result. We'll get instant result in case of interactive mode. See, I'll show you another difference also. So let me show you. Yes, there was previously this 4 line of code. So now what I can do is here, in case of interactive mode, see, line by line, x equals to 10, y is equals to 20. Then I will simply x plus y. I can skip some codes. Instead of assigning into j, I can simply do x plus y equals 30. See, in 3 lines of code, I can get the answer. But here I have to write 4 lines of code. Clear? So this is the difference between interactive mode and script mode. In script mode, you have to include proper syntax, proper scripts. But in case of interactive mode, you don't need to include whole scripts. Script means here, in order to print from script mode, you have to write print function. But in case of interactive mode, you don't need to include this print function. Okay. But if you include this print function also, it will do the same job. Suppose if I write print x plus y, then also you'll get the 30 only. But it's not necessary to write print in case of interactive mode. So that makes your work faster, easier. Okay. So basically, interactive mode is used when you need to check a single piece of code. So whenever you have to check a single piece of code, in that scenario only we'll use interactive mode. Otherwise, we prefer or we use script mode. Okay, we don't write whole multiple lines of code, many lines of code in interactive mode. We don't write. Okay, we write only a single piece of code in order to check the syntax of code, whether it is correct or not. Clear? So whenever we practice or whenever we write a program, we write it in script mode only. So another important thing is, while writing code or programs in script mode, we have to save that program first in order to run. So in my case, I have already saved it as chapter 4 practice question number part 1. This is my file name, .py, py. .py is the extension of Python file name. Okay, so as I have already saved this file, I'm able to run this. But if I happen to create a new file, see, I'll create over here and I'll copy just this program only. Now let's check here. Okay, now I'll try to run this before saving the program. See what happens. First, it asks me to save. Now I'll simply write test, save. No, there is already test 1. Now it will generate the output. Okay, so what happens if you save this program and I happen to like close this, and again if I open this, see here in interactive mode your data is lost, your code has been lost. But in case of script mode, it is already there, or you can simply open that file later. See, this test 1 you can open simply. So this saves your code, this saves your work for future reference. But in case of interactive mode, you lose your code. See, suppose if I write again 10 plus 20, then for now I got this code as output as 30. This was my code and this was the output. Suppose if I happen to close this, see, let me show you again. See, now that code is lost. Suppose I happen to close this also and finally close all, and see, let's check. See, there are no codes. Now I'll simply open that file. See, in script mode, I'll get back to this code again, time and again for future use also. So that is the advantage of script mode. Okay, but in interactive mode, as soon as you close this application, you will lose the code. That is the disadvantage of interactive mode. Okay, so side by side, both modes have advantages and disadvantages. Okay, one's advantage will be disadvantage the other mode. Okay, so in case of interactive mode, it is faster, quicker, and instant result is being provided. But here the process is slower, instant result is not provided. Okay, and you have to save the file before executing the program. Here you don't need to save the file. Okay, but here the advantage is once you save the file, it is saved for future reference as well, for lifetime, until unless you delete that file. Okay, your work will be saved. But here in case of interactive mode, as soon as you close the application, your program or line of code will be lost. Okay, that is the disadvantage for this interactive mode. Clear? So that was the difference between interactive mode and script mode. So in script mode, you will notice this kind of symbol. that is sail mode or interactive mode. These three type of greater than symbol, this represents that you are working in interactive mode. And script mode means there will not be any such symbols. You will be writing the code, then you will find this run button and you have to click on this. Okay, so this is the how you will recognize the script mode and this as a interactive mode. Clear? So these are the two modes of working environment in Python. Okay, so in Thonny, these two modes are accommodated into a single interface only. But if you happen to download Python only, see, I have already downloaded a Python. See, I'll just try it. So if you download Python from Python website, python.org, in that case, you will get interactive mode. Okay, only interactive mode. Okay, let me try to open this. Okay, so you can see Python, as you can download the Python and you can check, you will see the interactive mode of Python only. Okay, so I hope I have already almost covered the chapter 1 in this video. Let me check if any topic is left. Okay, so this is just a step to that teaches how to install and what to use. There are various methods you can find in book, that Spider, Anaconda, Spider ID and all. So you don't need to get confused with all this. You can simply download Thonny in order to practice for your beginner level. That's it. You don't have to worry about all sort of this Pythons, Anacondas and all. Okay. So now the first script is this only. In my case, there was 4 line of code. That is the first script only. See, x equals to 10, y equals to 20, z equals to x plus y, and print z. So this is my 4 line of script, and this is the my first program, and I'll simply execute this program, and the output is 30. That is 10 plus 20 equals to 30. So this is the first program or first script in Python. Okay, so I hope I have already covered almost all part of chapter 1. And I hope this video is very, very helpful for the students that are in class 11 learning computer science with Python. Okay. And if you have any questions, any confusions, then you can leave comments in my comment section below. And I'll be uploading another video related to chapter 2. You can find the series in this playlist only. You can click for another video soon. Okay. Thank you for watching videos. Thank you.